Hello, everyone. Welcome to our final joint session for today, our closing remarks for the SRAE TTA virtual topical training. I would like to introduce our first presenter today, Kendy Cox, Vice President with Public Strategies.
All right. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to our closing session. As we near the end of our time together, I'd like to close us out with a few observations from the past few days. First and foremost, I just want to thank all of you for your incredible engagement. I was just so struck by not only how attentive you were, but also how everyone used the chat function to share your comments, your questions, and your tips. I just want to thank you for being so engaged with each other and with the content that we've provided. Talking about content, the next thing is that we really, as a TA team, as FYSB, we tried very hard to create content and topics and information that would be applicable to all 250 participants. But we also know that each of you comes to this training with varied experience. Some of you may have participated in our in-person topical training in January in Washington, D.C. Some of you have been doing this work for a very long time, so the content may be more of a review for you. But some of you are newer to this policy area and work. No matter what category you fall into, we hope that you will end this training taking away something specific that ensures that your program is meeting the standards and requirements of the SRAE funding streams and that you're offering high quality services to your participants. We also hope and encourage you to share this information with your team members who may not have been able to be here this week, so that everyone that you work with has the opportunity to benefit from the information shared this week. I want to thank our presenters. We heard from so many wonderful experts in both the joint sessions and the track sessions. Thank you specifically to the peer educators who shared your experiences and insights about behavior predictors. I want to thank all of the many experts who enhanced our knowledge in areas of facilitation best practices, curriculum fidelity, trauma-informed service provision, SRAE legislative alignment, observational feedback, the optimal health model, and more. Really, truly, your service to this group over the past 3 days is greatly appreciated. And finally, I wanted to mention that, we created these track sessions to be very specific about the content that we're providing to both facilitators and program leaders. We feel that the content really hit the mark for many of you, and so we're grateful to be able to bring that content to this many people, but also in ways that are very specific and efficient. We look forward to your feedback about both the track design as well as the content that we've provided to each one of those groups. And I just wanted to mention we're always interested in learning what you liked, but also what you didn't like and wanted more of, because that's how we get better for future trainings and training and technical assistance provision. At this time, I wanted to turn it over to LeBretia White to share some closing comments with us. And then at the end of her comments, I'll have some final housekeeping items, and then we'll enjoy the rest of our day together, or apart, actually. LeBretia White is the program manager for the Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Program within FYSB, and she probably needs no introduction. You guys are familiar with her, and she's going to bring us some final comments from FYSB today. LeBretia?
Thank you so much, Kendy, and good afternoon, everyone. As Kendy said, I am LeBretia White, one of the 2 program managers for the Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Program. My colleague, Bernae Martin, is also working to support the important work that we're doing to support youth on the state and local level here in the federal office. And so, again, I just want to thank you all for dedicating the last 3 afternoons to this important training. We had an opportunity to meet with many of you at the last topical training, as Kendy spoke about, that was hosted in Northern Virginia. And we're delighted that Public Strategies has been able to bring to you and to us this topical training virtually. We met also back in June with the APC Grantee Conference. And so we are really getting our wear out of the Zoom platform, and it has really supported us to stay connected for such important events as this. The SRA grantees, I must say, your participation has been amazing, as most sessions had attendance ranging over 100 to 200 registrants participating over the past 3 days. I think that's phenomenal. It was shared with me that there were approximately 344 grantee registrants, and you registered for the 2 tracks in a phenomenal way, with over 162 for track 1, 182 for track 2. So kudos for being engaged and seeing the importance of being involved in this learning opportunity. From what I observed and heard from our staff, I was able to listen in on a few of the sessions and found them to be very informative as well as engaging, that many of you were participating on the polls. I was able to observe that as well as others. You're engaging with one another in the chat panel as well as offering direct feedback. And again, I must say that this level of participation is what we actually desire, and it supports an enriched learning opportunity for everyone. The topical training presented 2 tracks, as I just spoke about, and those tracks were intended to address the needs of those of you managing and overseeing your programs, but also there was a track that focused on those of you who are providing frontline direct services to youth in your communities. And so you were also able to interact with one another and to learn during the course of the past 3 days. In fact, if you weren't aware, the Facilitating SRAE with Excellence track was originally delivered in January, the training I spoke about that took place in Northern Virginia, and it became apparent during that time or afterwards with some of the feedback that we received from those grantees that were in attendance that we needed to repeat that training, thus the 2 tracks this round. And further, it was our goal to empower you to leverage that information and resources and tools, and to further use the objectives and all of the information that's been shared as it's applicable to your program to further enhance the work that you're doing. I was really pleased to see how engaged grantee staff were in the various sessions. And we look forward to learning, again, how you're going to use the many tips and strategies to improve your programming. I must say that my key takeaway from the observation and hearing some of the conversations is that we need to continue to explore ways to support you in virtual programming. As of today, that is our new normal. So definitely we'll continue to do that. Another key takeaway is that we need to continue to share with you strategies to support programming that aligns with the optimal health model. And so we'll be looking for opportunities to do that in the coming year. Speaking of coming year, we're closing out this fiscal year and definitely looking forward to training such as this and sharing additional information to support you. I'd like to take a moment at this time to recognize the SRAE training and technical assistance partner that we have in Public Strategies. Jerry and his team put in a lot of hard work to ensure that this event was successful, this training event was successful, so we thank you for your partnership and your expertise in that regard. And to you, our SRAE grantees, again, you're to be commended for your attendance and participation. You stuck with us on the virtual platform, so that demonstrates that you have continued passion and commitment to the important work of supporting youth in making those healthy, positive choices and decisions as it relates to avoiding sex and other risky behavior. And even as important, supporting young people with skill development so that they make those healthy decisions and choices that lead to them becoming self-sufficient and well-established adults. So before, I don't want to hold you long. I know I stand between ending this particular session, our closing session for the 3-day training. But before I conclude, I do want to put in a plug to remind you, as Kendy has, and she'll probably share more of that, that it's important that you provide for us feedback by way of surveys. After each session, you should have received an email asking for your feedback. If you didn't get a chance to complete those surveys at the time that they were shared, please, please, I beg of you, go back and take a moment to provide for us your feedback. It's important for us to know that how this training was able to help assist and meet your goals and your needs. It's also important for us to know what other types of training and information would be helpful to you moving forward. So again, that's a really critical ask, and hopefully you'll take some time to adhere to that. We'd appreciate it very much. Also, I always put in a plug for the Exchange website. It's our resource repository for all of our adolescent pregnancy prevention programs. We are making that system even the more robust for the new Title V SRAE. It's the newest program within the Bureau, but we want to ensure that you have access to adequate information and resources. So please visit the Exchange, and it may have been already shared and will likely be shared again. The information that was shared, the presentations, the handouts will be available to you through the Exchange. But also take a look at some of the more recent resources that the SRAE TTA contractor has recently made available. There are some tip sheets, infographics, and the like. I know recently there was an infographic released on success sequencing that was well done, and you may find that to be helpful as well. So take a minute to complete the survey, and also please visit and continue to utilize the Exchange. We recently added a component to the Exchange called the comment wall. And so that gives you an opportunity to continue to engage, to dialogue. There may have been some sessions during this training that you would want to continue to exchange some ideas on or ask questions. Please, please feel free to utilize the Exchange comment wall in that regard. And also, final word around training and technical assistance is I encourage you to continue to take advantage of individual technical assistance that's afforded through the contract that we have with Public Strategies. You simply need to share with your project officer that you have a specific need. It will take your project officer probably not more than 2 to 3 minutes to submit that request, and Public Strategies, I'm certain, will be ready and available to assist you as best they can. So definitely take advantage of that resource. Lastly, I want to thank the APT staff that's always serving in the background and sometimes in the forefront, and this particular circumstance more in the background, and particularly Tanya Matthews, who leads the contract. And so those are all of the comments that I have in remarks. Again, I think the training was well conducted, well attended, and some great information that you should find resourceful as you look to enhance and expand the capacity of your programs. And so at this time, I thank you for the opportunity to be able to greet you on this afternoon. Continue the great work that you're doing, despite some challenging situations that we're all encountering. But our youth are the better because of what you have committed to do to support them. Have a great weekend and continue to be safe. At this time, I'll turn it back over to Kendy.
Thank you so much, LeBretia. Thank you for your leadership and your comments. So guys, I think we've almost made it. Before we officially end this training, a couple of housekeeping items, lots of questions about the feedback link. So here in just a moment, if everybody can locate your chat box on your screen, Megan is going to drop in a link to the feedback tool for your specific track for today's sessions. We want to make sure that before you sign off today, everybody clicks on their appropriate link and fills out that feedback tool for today. As LeBretia mentioned, you may have missed the feedback tool from previous days of the training. Never fear. You're going to be receiving an email that has those specific links so that you can go back to previous days and provide us feedback about your experience at the training. Is all that clear? If not, use the chat function to ask a question, and Megan or someone else will respond to you as quickly as possible. In the meantime, I am going to close us out. If you remember, if you were here for opening remarks, I said I was confident that after this training, you would have more tools in your toolbox and would feel even more empowered and motivated to serve our country's youth. I do hope that my word is good and that you leave today with a renewed sense of purpose and a game plan to accomplish what I know are very big goals out there. I want to thank you again and wish you a great day. And as always, your training and technical assistance team is here to help you in any way into the future. Thank you very much and have a great day.